To see a black man apologize to a woman on a public platform, a black woman, okay? Are we gonna see more of that? And what does it really mean now moving forward? We're gonna get into it right about now. But first, I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And as a therapist, the main themes I saw throughout this conversation, podcast, whatever you want to call it, were themes of control and trauma. And oftentimes when people have gone through different things, they hold the trauma in their body. You can see it on their face at times. You can see just how that trauma is still controlling them. But I think Megan is in a place in her life where she has gained clarity, freedom from her control. It is no longer holding her hostage. And a lot of y'all can relate to that. Some of you guys are still on your healing journey, wondering, where do I begin? Some of you are in a place where letting go has come in place. You have gained clarity. And through this interview, I saw how a lot of themes, even as a therapist myself, I can relate to, okay? Putting up walls at times, not letting people in. Having to have my head on a swivel as a black woman living in this world, okay? And at times, I have had relationships in my life where I feel like maybe at times people have had to prove themselves to me in friendships because I have been hurt. And a lot of people can relate to that, being hurt by parents, friends, romantic partners, so much so that you carry the weight of that pain around so much that you're not really living. You know what is living? That trauma inside of you, okay? Because you have not healed from those things. But Megan shows you that you can heal. You can work through those issues and you can become happy. You can let people in. And her being an only child, I think at times she wanted connection. She wanted to form relationships with people at times that, let in the wrong people and got her into some situations that now she has healed from, let go of. And some of those people have been punished, okay? But as you watch this conversation with her and Shannon, at times I became a little frustrated, of course, because Shannon just kept hitting her with questions. I'm like, I need Shannon to get comfortable in the silence. Just let the question breathe. Just let the answer come in. Just let it breathe. Now, it did flow better than some of his other interviews, but still I'm like, can we just simmer down? Let the questions just be answered. I get we're probably on a time frame. We're trying to bang them out, but at times I'm like, okay, can we just relax a little bit? Okay, but it was interesting to see Megan now here compared to what she was in the past, and how this interview comes upon the release of her album. I think her tour is almost over. She's at the height of her success, and it's only continued to elevate. And you cannot have that much success, elevation in your life if you don't work through that trauma, because eventually that trauma will show up, and if you up here, it will bring you down. But you see how healing is a linear process. Okay, you're gonna have your ups, your downs, and you see how Megan talks about just wanting at times relationships, connections, and how her grandmother told her, not everything that grins is your friend. How many of y'all have heard that? Because sometimes we want to just believe. We want to let people in. We want to just build friendships and connections that we let the wrong people in our lives. And that hurt perpetuates into how we make career decisions, love interest decisions, and we carry the baggage, yes, baggage, an excessive weight of those hurts, the wounds, into new relationships. But Megan shows you just how, and this is what makes her really relatable, is that everyone is on a different type of healing journey. Okay, sometimes that means disappearing for a little bit. Sometimes that means working in therapy. Sometimes that means letting go. Okay, the person you are today is not going to take you to elevation, because you have to work through the stuff inside of you that is still hindering you. You want to get to a place you're wondering, how come I haven't gotten there yet? Why is it happening for other people? Why is it happening for me? Sometimes you have to focus on yourself and not compare yourself to other people. Focus on your own journey. Megan said herself when she sees stuff in the comments, yeah, I'm human. Okay, I'm going to react. But that does not mean I have to always be that person. I think she's learning and trying to get on the level of, as she said, Beyonce, and not try and get in those comments as much. But we're all human. But I want people to see that healing is possible. You can let go of control. Control does not have to drive you. And I get that people have and feel like they need control to protect themselves. They feel like, well, if I control everything around me, nothing can penetrate me. But that also keeps you disconnected. That also keeps you isolated. Okay? It also keeps you really from growing because you're so caught up in trying to have so much control over things, people, places, that look at your hands. Look at that. You may not see this, but your body feels it. Your nervous system feels it. All that control you are trying to have. Okay? You have to learn how to let go. Let go. And some people might say, but how? Okay? Figure out ways in your everyday life that you can learn how to breathe. What is one thing in your life that you can learn how to let go and control of? It doesn't have to be a major thing, but I want you to practice figuring out little things in my day-to-day life that I can learn to let go of control over. Because it's not doing anything for you. It's keeping you from healing. It's keeping you from growing. Okay? Control is a reactive way of coping. Okay? You feel like you have to control everything in order to protect yourself. You're protecting yourself from being hurt again. And you might think you have control over your trauma, but you really don't. You may not realize how much your control is controlling you. Okay? And another thing I liked about this interview is that Megan really did have her own voice. Okay? You could tell they chose the questions and topics of this thing. Okay, now he tried to go some directions, but she's like, I'm gonna choose who I want to talk about. I'm gonna keep it on the females. Victoria Monet, Cardi B, Little Kim. I'm gonna praise and put people's names in here who I really care about and who really F with me. One of the people being Glow. And Glow is a prime example of how Megan has let go of some control and let people in. Because if Megan was still in her heightened sense of protection mode, that tour, all of that probably would have never happened because her trauma. Okay? But you see how different things have happened in her life. And I think that is because she is healing, letting go of control. She's at the height. She has her album, a successful tour, new female relationships. And some people, the haters, might say that the industry still does not really mess with her the same way they did before the whole Tory Lanez thing. People are gonna say whatever they want to say. Okay, you give everybody an Amazon link and they go over there and buy a mic and they got a podcast. Okay, but this just shows you how healing is possible. Okay, and I hope Shannon learns how to just let these questions breathe, brother. Let them breathe. You can really let them breathe. All right. And now it's interesting because we got a little bit of tidbit at the end that Megan is coming out with a documentary. And so that was another sense of her letting go of control because she had to have these cameras following her 24/7 documenting everything. And I'm curious to see what will actually make it to the end because, of course they're going to edit things out. Don't put that in there. Don't put that in there. But it seems like she has more control in a positive way over her career, her movements, decisions. You saw how, once again, control shows up in her life. Through her management company before, she could not do a lot of things. So you see different levels of control in her life. This kind of continuum of protection, control in a bad way, her feeling shackled, but now her having a team that really feels like they care about her, they're in her best interest. And sometimes as you're going on your healing journey, you have to let go of some people. And it's gonna be hard because some of the people you have a really close relationship with, family members, friends, but you have to learn to let go of some of those people because they're not in your best interest. And as you are going on your healing journey, I must say, you can't take everybody with you. And that is hard to hear because you're going to have to distance yourself. And if you're not in a place where you want to go no contact, you have to figure out how to put in boundaries. If you're going to have the people in your life because you can't let go, boundaries would be a key thing for you. Figuring out, what do I want in this relationship? What do I need? What can I let go of? How much of myself do I really want to share with this person, these people, if you're in a place where you don't want to go no contact. But this interview was pretty good. Quick, to the point. Okay, nothing really negative. I know her team was like, okay, let's see them questions before she go on this platform. But it was really good. It gives you just how much of a person, public figure, and relatable Megan really is, and how her hotties love her because they can relate to her. That's what makes a lot of these public figures popular, successful, relatability. But I want to know your thoughts. What'd you think? Because of course, I have a session literally in 2 minutes, so I gotta cut this off. But make sure you like, you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.